all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a vile one. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child.
Jafar, buy an SD game swap. Creed.
Good morning again.
Howdy, folks. It's VileMike here. I did not watch much this week because I forgot to pay my phone bill for a large portion of the week. So I've been rewatching old stuff instead of watching new stuff.
You don't have automatic deduction?
I turned it off because basically I want to be able to. When they would activate it, it was always at an inopportune time, and I would basically lose a day because they say it's good for 30 days, but if you do the automatic, it's actually only good for 29 days.
Oh, because I had everything on auto pay.
So
it's a lot easier for me because I forget shit sometimes. Like, oh yeah, but when I got auto, because I recently forgot to pay my cable bill, right? My internet bill. I'm like, wait, do I have to pay my bill? I look at my thing, I'm like, oh, automatically deducted. Cool. I don't have to worry about this. No late fees. No late charges. That helps me to get things on auto pay.
I'd like to interject with a completely off-topic thing. My landlord has got so many freaking chickens here now that I cannot walk into that coop without a bucket of food because I'm like fucking Taylor Swift the second I show up at the gate. Like, there's like 100 chickens, and they've all known me since they were like really small. So they're like not scared of the human. It's like, look, it's the food lady, and they're like standing on your feet and trying to fly up to the bucket. It's pretty ridiculous.
You gotta hide yourself in a speaker box when you go into them.
Well, no, you can't. If you have food, you just chuck some food like away from you, and they all run over to the food because they really don't want me; they want the food. So
yeah.
But I mean, sometimes I have to go out there for whatever reason, like to collect eggs or whatever, when there's not food, and they're all like in a big like throng around you. Like, say, I can't move without punting a chicken.
all right, so Elihu, how much do you know about Doctor Who lore and all the past stuff in Doctor Who? Because I have a question for you.
I'm a Whovian.
I know a medium amount of stuff.
What's the question?
All right, so one of the things I did watch this week, because I there's a certain website that I use to download old movies that have entered the public domain in another country. Okay. One of those movies was Doctor Who and the Daleks. So I was like, oh, a Doctor Who thing. I'm going to download this so I can watch it. And I downloaded it like weeks ago, but I finally watched it once I no longer had internet because it was already downloaded on my phone.
Okay.
Okay, one, why did no one ever tell me that Peter Cushing played the Doctor at some point?
Oh, by the way, did you know that Peter Cushing played the Doctor at some point?
And two, is this even freaking remotely canon? Because apparently there's 3 Peter Cushing movies, but he's not referred to as the Doctor in the credits. He's referred to as Doctor Who.
Yeah, okay, Doctor Who and the Daleks from '65. It is not canon. Okay, it is not canon. He's a human inventor, not a Time Lord. This is why it's not canon.
But my question is, now what got me in to Doctor Who? Granted, the first thing I ever saw for Doctor Who was the U.S. BBC made movie back in the '90s, but it never really resonated with me.
San Francisco, New Year's Eve, yeah.
Yeah,
Doctor's happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So But what did get me into Doctor Who was the revival with Eccleston.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And I've watched a few things here and there, listened to some radio dramas, usually between the 4th and the 5th Doctors. So this is the first time I've ever seen this. And I was confused because all the lore surrounding the Thralls and the Daleks that they talk about in this movie is talked about as if it really happened in the Doctor Who relaunch stuff, as if it was canon.
No, he's just a guy named who built a time machine. That's all. It's not they basically what's her name? Shit. Crap. I'm having a mind fart.
One of the doctor's assistants.
Yeah. They were basically reimagined. Shit.
Don't worry about it.
What?
Just tell the story without being specifically.
Okay, well, in the movie, he's got 2 granddaughters.
Barbara, that's his name. Yeah, Barbara.
Susan, Barbara, and Dan. Dan is apparently the boyfriend of Susan. Or no, Barbara. And Susan's the little girl.
Yeah, she's a child. I can remember Barbara's name for some reason. I'm like, what the hell?
And I remember from, what I have watched of the first Doctor that, Barbara and Dan were not, or
Ian.
Barbara was not his daughter. Whereas
Ian.
apparently in this he was. Or Ian. Sorry.
Who's Dan? I'm like, Dan doesn't appear till Whitaker.
Sorry, Dan, I think his actor's name was Dan. I could be wrong about that.
Oh.
But I was just, but the lore that they talk about, the war between the Daleks and the Thralls, is now part of Doctor Who canon.
Yeah, because basically, you mean was it the Daleks?
Well, the Daleks and the Thralls, they nuked their planet back essentially into the Stone Age. All that stuff happens in the actual canon. But as far as I can tell, and as far as when I looked it up after watching the movie, because I was confused I was confused once I saw Peter Cushing as Doctor Who, and I'm like, what? So
his name is Who,
and apparently a lot of the history between the Thralls and the Daleks is from this movie.
Didn't watch all of the old stuff. Like I did, but I don't remember it because I was a kid. Was any of that stuff like repeated in any of the other Doctor Who stuff? Like,
it was repeated later on, but it was first introduced in this movie.
So it didn't show up at all during the like Tom Baker run or anything like that. Like that.
This is all before Tom Baker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nothing like that was like repeated in that era.
Now, some apparently some like the audio dramas and some of the novels try to explain that this Doctor Who TV show exists, or the movies of these Doctor Who, the Peter Cushing ones, exist as movies within the Doctor Who canon.
No, it was just popularized as a standalone movie because of '63, the popularity of the Daleks introduced.
Well, I'm saying, what they're basically saying is Peter Cushing as the Doctor Who exists in the Doctor Who universe. Peter Cushing is an actor who played a character known as Doctor Who in Doctor Who's universe. Does that make sense?
Kind of like Shitty playing Doctor Who in the latest episode.
So, and in fact, one of the things they had was apparently one of the doctors. They don't specify which one, or if they did, I don't remember it. Apparently, met with Peter Cushing to try to get him to make a 4th Doctor Who movie.
I don't recall that.
So, what did you think of the movies? Did you enjoy them?
I only saw the first one. I downloaded. The only 2 of them are free, or at least have entered the public domain in that country. So, I downloaded one. I didn't download the other one yet. I'm probably going to do that soon. But it was very slow. I think a lot of it was 1960s British humor, so a lot of it didn't translate well.
Right. So what you're saying is that it's now is not the first time they've fucked up Doctor Who shit.
No, it's definitely
There's
not,
a
because I was
long
confused all
history
the
of
hell.
fucking up Doctor Who stuff. That's good to know. You know, people always blame shit on now, right? And I'm thinking, no, there were shitty shows in the past. We just forgot about them. Like there was like, you know, bad stuff in the past. Like as far as, you know, being creative and new and stuff like that. Everyone's always complaining, oh, nothing is new. Nobody has any creative energy. Like
They
just
totally
do the same shit over and over. Or
they
just
totally
bad
rewrote the
writing, stuff like
Solarian
that.
history. I'm like,
Mhm.
hello. Yeah, because
I mean,
it was
not
actually
everything should be
Astrid
good.
who was on that ship that destroyed the dinosaurs. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't Astrid there? How do you, then Matt Smith's doctor just totally redid the whole entire history of Solarians. I'm like, wait, what about Astrid? Well, you leaving this guy alone? Come on, he was a cool companion. Don't leave out Astrid. Stop changing history. I was upset when they did that with Matt Smith.
I
But I love that episode.
I liked Matt Smith as a doctor.
Yeah.
But like, there's this whole running joke about we're gonna split up and we're gonna search this city. You know, it's basically the Dalek city on the planet, and so the three adults are gonna each go through these three doors, and the big joke is every time that Ian tries to go through his door, the door keeps closing on him. But they have it like it goes on for so much longer than it needs to be.
Sort of like the people going into that tiny cramped office in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It's like, okay,
kind of, yeah.
We
But
get
it's
the
like,
joke. It's not funny anymore.
well, the funny part about the room in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was the fact that they kept adding people.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But at a point, it was just like, ha ha ha, yeah, whatever. You know,
We get it. Yeah, no, yeah.
like, haha, hilarious.
And Attack of the Killer Tomatoes will always get a pass on my channel because it was filmed here in San Diego.
A lot of stuff was filmed in San Francisco. They don't get a pass from me.
Yes, but that's because San Francisco gets destroyed every time it's on film. So
okay, I grant you that. I grant you that, man.
I mean, there's literally a trope in fiction now that if you see the Golden Gate Bridge in a movie, odds are it's going to get destroyed unless you're watching a comedy or a romantic movie.
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Holy shit. Wait, Stargate Atlantis. Wait, yeah, the water damage in the bay, the flooding, yeah.
Whereas,
I'm still upset with the Melosi on that one. I'm like,
well,
dude,
and hold on, and how many? Hold on, I want to do a juxtaposition point. How many times have you seen a movie that takes place in San Diego where they show the Coronado Bay Bridge, but Coronado Bridge is intact at the end?
Yeah.
Every movie.
You know, you see a movie in New York, there's like, it's an action movie in New York. It's going to be like, okay, what building are they going to try and blow up?
Yeah, it's like Jeff Goldblum said. They always go for the landmarks.
Is it going to be the Empire State Building this time?
They always go for the landmarks.
So.
Oh, yeah, that was what he said in Alien or Independence Day 2.
Yeah.
Let's go for the monuments.
I'm trying to think of a recent movie where San Francisco was not destroyed. Shit. Besides the Princess Diaries, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but then you had to have Anne Hathaway, so.
Hey, I kind of like Anne Hathaway, so.
I like Anne Hathaway. She's a great actress. And Jane Judi Dench, hello.
On TV,
sorry,
it's all good.
What was? Sorry, but I didn't realize you're making a joke. But I don't actually. How many bad movies has she been in that you can think of? Because I can't really think of that many that she's been in that I would qualify as being bad.
Neither can I.
Well, here, let's see what movie she's been in.
I love her Les Mis.
So it was Well, you guys are while that's getting looked up. I did watch a show on Netflix. I was just looking for something to watch and came across Tyler Perry's Straw. And I was like, I have a feeling I can grasp where this story's probably going. I'm thinking straw. I'm thinking, okay, somebody's on their last straw. You know, somebody's about to get that one piece of straw that breaks their back. So the storyline goes basically is you have this woman. She's black. She lives in one of the more rundown areas. And now she works 2 jobs. She's behind on a lot of stuff. She has a child who has.
Sorry about that.
That's Batman. Was that Batman?
No, that was Doctor Who and the Daleks.
It sounded like
So she
Batman.
has.
Oh,
So she has a. So you can tell she's very stressed out this morning. And as the day is going on, you can tell she's got a shitty boss. And what happens is she, gets in her car. She's trying to go pay her kid's lunch thing, and she can't get it out of the account because she needs $47 from her account. But if she takes that out, they close her account out. And okay, she tries to go up to she's trying to get up to the school, and some dumbass decides to be a dick. Decides to go road rage on her, knocks her to the side of the road. And, it turns out he's an off-duty cop who's a flat-out open racist. And yes, I've seen cops like that in California before. So this guy is literally just losing his goddamn mind on her. He's ready to arrest her, take her to jail and everything, and she's freaking out. And, of course, the other patrolman who comes up there sends the other guy away, but doesn't really say anything else to her about that, except they're going to tow her car now because her registration expires and things spiral out of control after that. Her car gets towed. She gets fired from her job. She's trying to get her fucking check so she can pay her rent. She gets back to her place. Everything she had is out in the rain. She goes back to the place. She goes back to work. She tells the guy, I want my check. But he was like, well, don't you know what fired means? It means the check's in the mail. And he just refused to give it to her. A couple of guys came in, tried to rob the place. She freaked out, and he blames her for it. Says she was a part of it, and she freaks out and shoots him, and then ends up in her bank trying to get her check out. And they think she has a gun. They think she has a bomb. And, well, that's where the main part of the story goes after that, is the whole thing going on in the bank. And it actually has it's a very sad movie, but when you get to the very end and everything's revealed, it's like, yeah, that is sad. It's a sad movie, but it's I've known a lot of people that, even though they're not black, I've known people who've gone through a lot of poor shit and have just been like, every time they try to get help, it's like, no. Sorry, this has got to happen first. I mean, trying to get my daughter help from like 2016 on, they were like, sorry, she's got to be awarded a state to get this. I'm like, she needs this help. Well, she's got to do something stupid and end up getting arrested before we can do that. So I'm like, I'm trying to prevent that from happening. Like, well, we can't do anything until she gets arrested.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was looking up Anne Hathaway's filmography. I did find a couple that I would say that were bad movies.
I think what it is for me, it's not that she's a bad actress in any way, but she's in a lot of movies that I just don't want to see. I'm not interested in romantic movies. I just don't care for them.
I kind of agree with you. Although I did, one of the ones that's on the list is Ella Enchanted, and I actually enjoyed that one, but it also might be because of all the covers of Queen songs.
I still like her in Les Mis. She did not use any methadone spray for that crying scene.
But Get Smart, I would say that was a bad movie.
Yeah,
Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton one, I thought that was a bad movie.
You didn't like her as the White Queen?
Yeah,
no,
she was the White Queen.
And I'll follow that up with Alice Through the Looking Glass. That was also a bad movie.
Was Ocean's 8 any good? That was the Ocean's 11 with all chicks, right?
Yeah, she was in 8.
Was she in that one? I don't see it on the list.
Oh, yeah, it says she was Daphne Kluger.
There we go. Yeah, 2018. I didn't see it, but then I have only seen 2 of the Ocean's movies myself because I thought the first one was good, the second one was okay, and I didn't have an interest in seeing the third one.
Yeah, just a lot of them are movies that I'm just like, that's a romantic movie. I don't really want to see that. So, I only see so many movies. Romance movies, you're sitting alone at home, are not really the thing you want to be watching. For me personally. And then I don't like watching them. I just don't like romance movies. They're just so like, ugh, I don't know.
So it was funny. My wife, me, and my daughter all went to the movies. My wife did not want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this was the first one when it came out. And me and was it my daughter or my son? I can't remember. It was definitely my daughter, my oldest daughter. Anyway, our movie is longer, but her movie started later. So we got out about the same time. Mm-hmm. And, my wife comes out of her movie and she's hearing me and my daughter just talking about Guardians and how awesome it was. And then we're like, "Oh, honey, how was your movie?" She goes, "She goes, I should have just gone with you guys." And then after she saw the movie, she's like, "Damn, I really should have gone with you guys."
Guardians was awesome.
Yeah, and she went and watched some older romantic comedy, and she was just like, "No."
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember who was in it.
Doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Yeah, pretty much. If I want to watch something that's kind of got a romantic thing, why go to the movies? Just watch something on the Hallmark Channel. It's all the same story.
Dude, the only movie that I've seen that's considered a romance movie that is not a typical romance movie is called Next Stop Wonderland. The character does not meet until the very, very, very end of the movie. That's when they finally meet. I'm like, okay, this is a good romance comedy movie. I like this one. It's not the typical trope of 2 people find out, they meet, they do a little harassment, they get together, happy ending. This is not like that. I'm like, when are they getting together? When are they getting together? When are they going to meet? Are they going to meet? I love this movie.
My wife asked me about The Menu. She said, "You liked the movie The Menu?" I said, "Yes, I did."
It's starring Hope Davis and Ellen Jafons, by the way.
I was gonna say that's not a romance movie though.
No. I'm just talking about, movie, I was thinking of little obscure movies. And I remember watching it and I was like, this is actually interesting. And as it's going through, I'm like, I'm seeing the psychological stuff he's doing. And I'm like, And it was a really fun movie. I really got into it. My wife asked me, I was like, yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I think it was one of those underappreciated. Oh, another underappreciated movie, Equilibrium.
Let's see.
I heard of that.
No, I think I did. I don't remember if I saw it or not. I think I watched half of Captain America this week. That's all I watched.
Okay, Equilibrium.
The new Captain America
is the movie with who played Nolan's Batman?
Christian Bale.
Chris Bale.
Yeah, okay, Christian Bale's playing in this. Basically, it's a totalitarian government where we take injections to purge ourselves of emotions and need for and desire for personal effects.
Oh, we turned Vulcan. Gotcha.
What's that?
We're turning Vulcan. Gotcha.
Yeah, basically turning Vulcan.
Turning Vulcan knees. Turning Vulcan knees.
So yeah, and it's a movie where the term it's a movie where I first heard the fictional term gung fu.
That's what I was gonna. I'm like, Equilibrium. Was that the movie that had the gun kata stuff?
Yes, the gun kata stuff, the gung fu.
Yeah. Okay, that reminds me. One of the other things I did watch during the week was Crank and Crank 2. Do you guys remember those with Jason Statham and Amy Smart?
Unfortunately,
I remember
I only
hearing
liked
about
the
them.
first one.
Pretty sure I didn't see them.
Okay,
I liked the first one, didn't like the second one.
to me, when I rewatched them, I was entirely reminded of John Wick. You know, those dumb action movies that actually have like a massive amount of background stuff that's going on that they like created their entire universe around what's going on. The different factions going after everything. It actually makes complete and total sense within the context of the universe. But it's just one action scene or one, interesting scene, I should say, after another.
I like in the first Crank movie how he wakes up and he's like, "Oh man, what boys to do? Oh man, there's some high tech Chinese shit here, man. Some synthetic stuff in you, motherfucker." I was like, and he's like, I was just like, now this is funny. John Wick, actually, it's funny you brought that up. I finally finished John Wick 3 and 4. God damn, could they drag those movies out any longer?
yes, they can. They made Ballerina.
No. I'm not talking about how many movies they made. I'm just talking about we get to Parabellum, and I'm like,
Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga.
I'm just like, okay, how much more longer we got with this movie? I'm like, listen, I love the cool gun scenes, but come on, there is such a thing as too much. And then, oh God, in the John Wick 4, I was just like, I started actually, I got to like, I picked up the speed during some of the shootouts because I was like, okay, can we just get through this? I was getting so bored with that. I was kind of like, okay, I've seen enough. Can we just get to the end?
I did go and see the new Mission Impossible last Sunday.
Why?
I haven't seen a Mission Impossible movie since
No, Andy. Dandelion, why?
You know what? The thing,
Why
my
not?
main complaint about that movie was they were trying to explain too much stuff because everything tied all the other movies into this movie, which is fine. If you haven't seen the movies, right? They're like, oh, we better explain. So there was an awful lot of exposition and explaining. And I'm like, you know what? I could have followed this just fine without knowing that this tied into the third movie or that tied into the 12th movie or fucking whatever. Like, it was just, too much exposition. They could have just done the movie, had things happen. They didn't need to explain things so much. I just when they were like explaining things. And then, of course, ridiculous over the top stunts, which you expect.
Well, I was glad to hear that Tom Cruise had to do that fire scene about 14 times to get it right. He had to lit himself on fire 14 times, like, burn, baby, burn.
He was on fire at one point? I don't even remember that part.
Yeah, it's supposed to be on fire, and he had to do it like 14 times.
When was he on fire in that movie?
I was reading about this. I'm like, oh, really? Burn, baby, burn.
I just remember him like hanging off the side of a biplane for like half an hour.
Yeah, he does 95% of his own stunts, and he always wants to do this. Yeah,
there's lots of ways to do stunts where you can stay safe, right? There's always risk, but yeah.
Hey, Dandelion, are you good for a wrap up tonight? 8:30
I
Eastern.
believe so. I have like a million things to do today, but I think I can get them all done in time for the wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the message from him too.
I related
5:30. I think I could make 5:30.
Yeah, Dandelion doesn't get the X messages. That's why I said it. I know you get it,
No, I
dude.
get the X messages. I remember to check them
Oh.
on Sundays only to like for the wrap up. So yeah, I mean I don't use Twitter, but I'm on there. So and I'm in that chat. So
Okay.
Yeah, and because I didn't have the internet, I wasn't posting my daily videos. So I'm gonna start those again starting tomorrow.
nice.
I've got like 4 in the pipeline.
If I see one pop up in my feed, I do try to watch them.
I appreciate it.
They're actually
I'll
quite
let
clever.
Chris
You do a
know.
pretty good job with those.
I wish I could take credit. I'd basically just do what other people do on Twitter, or not Twitter, TikTok.
Even so, you know.
But
they're
I
well-
have learned, because Instagram cut. I guess because I don't have enough subscribers on Instagram, I have to. They cut me off at a minute, so I have to put that into account and try to keep all the videos under a minute, just so Instagram doesn't get it cut off. Because the Kinder Egg videos were like,
I appreciate that anyway.
well, I had those people who were I had like 3 messages on Instagram for people who were like, why does it end right here? Do you actually show off more of the thing? And I'm just like, I do. What's wrong? And I didn't realize it was getting cut off.
Huh.
There you go.
Man,
And then I got my second confirmed sale from those videos. Someone, oh God, this kind of irked me. All right, so I was at the dollar store on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was buying stuff for a little cookout thing I was doing with the Vile kids on Saturday. Oh, sorry, Friday. And the Dollar Tree had a bunch of these advertisement themed headphones, right? They had Hershey's, they had Mounds, they had Doritos, Cheetos, and stuff like that. And one of the things I had on the store that hasn't sold, even though it's got a bunch of watchers, was a 90s era chip clip for Cheetos, with the old retro Chester the Cheetah design before they did that awful 3D version. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I thought someone would actually respond after that. Okay. But no one's actually bought it, even though I got a bunch of watchers. So I thought, they had these Cheetos headphones. I'm going to buy the Cheetos headphones, add it to that chip clip thing, and just see if that will entice some of those people watching it to actually buy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had just paid for everything. I hadn't even left the register.
You're roboting, dude.
Cutting out, Mike.
Your mic is cutting out, Mike.
No, now we don't get the story.
Dude.
Mike, come back.
Look, even MB Geek was quiet so you can talk.
Oh, anyway, I noticed something in the media stuff.
Oh, that was weird.
Let's
just kicked me off.
Story. Finish your story, Vile. We got as far as I had just bought I had just paid for something.
I just paid for everything, including the Cheetos headphones, and I get the notification from eBay that the chip clip just sold.
Nice.
But now you're stuck with Cheetos headphones.
No, I sent the guy a message telling him that story, and I told him I'm just gonna add it. I didn't tell him what it was, but he's gonna get a bonus set of headphones that are Cheetos related that he didn't even know he was gonna get. Just because I didn't want them.
Yeah.
But like the Reese's Pieces or the Reese's mugs, I got Reese's headphones, so I'm gonna add it to that. I'm probably going to do a video about it. It was one of the ones that's in the pipeline. I downloaded some clips from E.T. And I want to try to use those.
Nice.
Nobody's bought my coins yet.
I thought they sold.
No.
And you guys go see that live action Lilo and Stitch?
No.
Yes.
See, I had no interest in seeing it, mainly because, honestly, I didn't care for the first one. It's one of the few ones I didn't care for.
Well, they played some. I like how they played some homage to the cartoon. Yeah, he took the red one. I'm like, okay, that's when that was good. That was a good line. I like that part.
It was just one of those ones I wasn't too thrilled with.
Anyway.
And that's it.
Sorry to interrupt, but I got to get going. I got like a million things to do. I got to go into work for a little bit, and I got a bunch of gardening to do.
On a Sunday.
No worries.
Yeah, well, you know,
Okay.
I'm not Christian, so I can go into work on any day I like. Don't worry, I'll leave work early another day.
I'm Catholic. Thank you.
No, that's fine. You can. I'm happy for people to be different religions. It's awesome.
Hey, if it makes you happy, it makes
I
you
will
happy.
continue to be pagan and respect everybody's gods.
And remember, I am a certified minister for the United Church of Bacon out of Las Vegas, Nevada. So, you know, to each his own.
Very good.
And I am ordained by the Flying Spaghetti,
Yes,
the
no, I
Spaghetti
don't
Monster.
generally go in on weekends, but there's a certain task. It's only going to take me like half an hour. I only live 10 minutes from work, so it'll be a quick in and out. And then I'll, there's a nice park down there. I'll go for a walk at the park down there afterwards. So, and I think we're actually going to grab some like junky plants that are getting thrown out, and I'm going to plant some trees in with the chickens so they have like a bit of shelter, like, you know, a bit more shade and stuff. So it'll be a multi-purpose trip to work. And I want some rose bushes for the front and stuff like that. So.
The neighbor of one of my aunts and uncles, who I don't really, the aunt and uncle have already passed away, but I still follow one of their neighbors because they sell buffalo meat.
Okay.
They also decided to start raising chickens, kind of like you guys.
Uh-huh.
And they learned that they cannot plant Chinese money trees on their property anymore because apparently the chickens will eat the money trees.
Well, chickens will eat anything. These are like junky trees that we can't sell. So if the chickens kill the trees, it's fine. We'll just dig them back out and put them through the chipper. Like the idea is just something in there to give the chickens something to do. Because, you know, and it's the trees actually do produce a bit of fruit. So the chickens will enjoy the little falling, what do you guys call them? Service berries. So the chickens will enjoy those until the trees die. And I think we've got some little cedar trees we can throw in there. They're all like, they've got bare spots and that. It's just sometimes plants, you know, I think the service berry trees got nibbled by rabbits. So there's like damage to the bark. So people don't want to buy them. So.
Well, I guess the reason they planted those on their land originally was one for good luck, because that's where they're supposed to bring good luck. That's why they're called money trees.
Right.
But the other reason was because of the type of tree they were, the buffalo would not try to sharpen their horns on them because the trunks were too thin. So they wouldn't bother even trying to mess with them. And it made a good little, for the entrance area to their farm.
Right.
It would make it looked nice, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then apparently the fucking chickens would climb up into the trees and just start eating all the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got these just bare freaking trunks, that are all braided together, because that's how they plan on. They braided a bunch of them together.
Yeah.
It looks like a horror movie almost.
Nice. Well, yeah. I mean, chicken's gonna chicken, so they'll eat just about anything. It's like a little pen of velociraptors out there.
Well, yeah, essentially that's what they are.
Yeah. Especially when they start running around, because it's a really large pen, so they'll get going like running across the pen, and it's like, Jesus, those things are fast. Speedy chickens. The property is like a 1 acre property, and the chicken pen is probably like half the width of the acre. Like, I don't know how
about 30, 40 square feet.
Maybe, I don't know. It's pretty big though. Like, there's probably a good 100 chickens in there right now, but there's like a lot of space between them, so it's all good. It's fun. It'll be nice when they're all grown, so it's a little less work, because right now there's a whole bunch of like juvenile chickens in a separate area, and they need a lot more care. that was two of the ones that died were in that little baby pen. So I have no idea what happened to them. I don't think anything got them. I don't know if they just got crushed by other chickens or I don't know, something went on. I'll have to talk to the landlord when I see him.
Some chicken experts are saying that a chicken needs about 6 square feet per chicken in order for it to be healthy and active. So each chicken needs about 6 square feet around it. So
These ones are little babies.
that's how much space. That's how much you need for a chicken. If you have multiple chickens, you just measure 6. You know what I'm talking about, right, Matt? I'm sorry.
There's loads of space. There's like honestly, there's like 100 chickens, but they're all like all over like it's a big area. They're not like all crowded together. Except at night, some of them don't want to go inside because like all the mature chickens are on the in the little hut. So they all like make little cuddle puddles all over the pen. It's pretty funny, but I mean, which is fine when the weather's nice, but I don't know. We're gonna have to figure something out for when it gets colder because those little guys are gonna have to go inside in the winter because they'll get just soaking wet because it'll rain all the time. Anyway, guys, it's been a delight. I will see you all hopefully next week.
Alrighty. Or I'll see you at 5:30.
Yeah, I think it's a long weekend for me next weekend. We might. I think work is thinking about moving our Canada Day off to Monday, so instead of Tuesday. But either way, I'll be around. I don't think I'm going to go camping because it's always too busy on a long weekend to go camping. So I might wait and go the following weekend. But anyway,
well, hopefully I'll see you tonight for some Jackbox.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds fun.
Apparently, the UK Apparently, the UK is a big stickler about what is not safe for work images.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mike, share my screen real quick. This is kind of funny.
You're going to share a not safe for work image on your screen? Hey,
No. I'm going to show you. This is what I keep getting. It says a blue moon full over a ice cap mountain. And apparently that is not safe for work.
Jesus, don't Google that then.
No, I mean, literally, this one's so funny. I put a period. If I just did a period, it would say not safe for work. It's been like this for like 2 weeks now.
All right, guys, I'll catch you later.
All right, later.
It's like,
whoops, I didn't mean to turn on my camera.
It's just so fucking hilarious when I see that. I was like gonna do something like a Viking or something like that against an alien or a predator. So it's like not safe for work. I'm like, a Viking, not safe for work. A Viking ship, not safe for work.
Dude, the ChatGPT cannot do quote unquote copyrighted material like superheroes, right? So you gotta type things phonetically, and it's like type, like Superman type hero with an S on his chest.
No, but even
okay. Well, I was gonna say, speaking of heroes, okay, as I said, I didn't have internet, so I was just watching through backlogs of stuff. When I bought Iron Man 3, it came with a free digital download of Iron Man, the Technovore animated movie. Has anyone even heard of or seen that one?
Yes, I have. It's the Japanese version, right?
No, it's
he's in Japan. He's in Japan, right?
It may have been released in Japan, but it was in English.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
God, Marvel really doesn't know how to do a good animated movie, do they?
No, DC does them better.
Because one, they seem to want to throw in as many cameo appearances as possible. Because they had Hawkeye, they had the Punisher, they had War Machine, War Machine makes sense for Iron Man, but the Punisher, no. Nick Fury, no, not necessarily. Hawkeye, and the whole point was, Tony's not listening, so we're going to send the full might of S.H.I.E.L.D., including, heroes that we have under our employ after Iron Man, just because he's not listening to us. And it was like an excuse to have these battles that made no real sense whatsoever. And then the villain is basically Obadiah Stane's son. That's it. How he got his massive technology stuff makes no sense. I was really freaking disappointed in the whole thing.
DC
And
does animated movies better than Marvel, but Marvel does live action movies better than DC. Of course, I'm still waiting to find out how Superman is going to be compared to Fantastic Four when it gets released.
That's going to be an interesting one. I'm going
Because
to tell
David
you what,
Cornswet,
right
because
now,
David Cornswet has, hang on a second.
Hold on.
David Cornswet has a sense of humor because I follow him on X, right? And
Yes.
one person posted a picture with the Superman poster tucked way behind a Fantastic Four, right? And he's like, "This is really messed up, yada yada." And David Cornswet tweeted the guy and said, "Every superhero needs a backup." I'm like, okay, this guy has a sense of humor.
I'm curious. Look, can we please, just for once, get the first family right? And can we please, for once, get Dr. Doom the respect he deserves as one of the most kick-ass suit villains in all of Marvel?
I've always said Doctor Doom is Iron Man in a skirt, and now a guy plays Iron Man is now playing Doctor Doom. So hey, poetic justice.
Well, I've had many times the comparison is he's a cross between Iron Man and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Tony did use magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is Iron Man in a skirt. That's all he is.
well, we'll see. I mean, I think I'm going to like the Fantastic Four movie. But like Superman, I'm avoiding as many spoilers as possible. So, I want to see 28 years later. I want to see Jurassic World. I want to see Toxic Avenger. Yeah, all those I want to see.
And
I don't know
by the
when I'm
way,
going to be able to see them, but
by the way,
Superman
the
and
selected group that James Gunn has let people actually seen advanced copies of the Superman after the final production seen it. Every single one of them has said nothing in the trailer reveals anything about the plot of the movie. I'm like, really? James actually did this for once? And I actually believe this guy because usually you'll see he's like, yeah, you'll see a plot point in this, yada yada yada. But every single one said no, every single piece of the footage does not reveal any plot point of the movie. I'm like, okay, I'm really interested in seeing this now.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I want to see what James Gunn can do. And well, for me, the Fantastic Four is, well, can we actually get this right? I have no interest in another Jurassic Park movie. And guys, I was not a fan of the Toxic Avengers growing up, except for the cartoon. That was funny.
well, I was a huge Roger Corman fan. I still am a Roger Corman fan, so I want to see it.
I remember the Toxic Avengers cartoon. It was like, they're gross, but they still get girls. I may be a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength, but I'm also a good guy.
I'm also a huge Michael Crichton fan, so that's why I want to see Jurassic World Rebirth. Is he's gone. We're not going to get any more books by him, so this is the closest I'll get to seeing something from his universe. So
I want to make a comment to that last comment that Mikey Sue has put about crypto. If you actually seen some of the James Gunn's release behind the scenes footage, crypto is his dog just turned white. That is exactly his dog. It just turned white. I'm like, oh my gosh, he really did use his dog as a model.
Why not?
And he used his dog on set. He used a live action basically, and also standing for some CGI on set. But it was a dog on set interacting. I'm like, okay, David.
I when I first saw crypto, when I first saw the runner across, I'm like, oh shit, is that crypto? That was the first thought I had. I'm like, okay, Crypto's in this. You've already got my interest.
Yeah, like I said, the trailer does not spoil the plot, but if you actually look at the part where Superman's using his heat vision, Crypto is throwing people in his view in the path of the vision, throwing people. He's flipping them. I'm like, okay, that's a good Crypto.
Good boy, Crypto. Good doggy. I always did like Crypto. He was he in the? Oh God, he was in one of the cartoons with Superman.
They also introduced a Crypto dog in Smallville.
Yeah, but they renamed it to Sandy.
Yeah.
And then there was in the DCAU, the Batman the Animated Series, Superman, Justice League, those ones. There was that alien dog that he gave to Bizarro that Bizarro, I think, called Crypto or something like that. And that was supposed to be like a version of Crypto from that show.
Yeah,
then you got Super Pets, which I never saw.
I did.
I didn't bother with that.
I just hope they don't bring in Comet the Super Horse, okay?
People are saying that Crypto is actually Supergirl's dog and Clark is just watching him. I'm like, okay, I don't believe that.
Well, if you know anything about...
I still want a good Green Lantern Corps movie. Not Green Lantern Corps.
Well, the reason, do you know why I made the joke about I hope they don't bring in Comet the Super Horse?
I don't even know who that is.
Well, it was a horse that had Superman's powers, named Comet, but there was a brief, there was a single issue basically where Comet gets turned into a human, or at least humanoid, and tries to date Supergirl. Yeah.
I'm just glad we're getting a brand new iteration of Superman with no backstory. I'm like, thank you. We all know how he grew up. We all know how he got here. It's like when Marvel did Spider-Man, we got no backstory. I'm like, thank you.
Well, it's like watching Batman. It's like we don't need his origin. We've known it. Or Spider-Man's. It's like we already know all this. It's like it doesn't matter if you read the comics. You know how these characters go. They've been around long enough.
Yeah, every iteration of Spider-Man, every iteration of Batman, we get the origin story, except for Marvel and now Gunn. I'm like, thank you guys. Enough is enough.
Well,
all we got in Marvel was, I got bit by a spider. Boom, that was it.
Well, what I couldn't stand about Nolan's Batman Begins is I'm like, they're just dragging it out. I was like, at least Tim Burton, he came right out of the box. I'm Batman.
Who are you? Yeah, I'm Batman.
Yeah, but they still had the origin scene in Batman, or Tim Burton's Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. I mean, they still had to do the origin scene at least once in all those films.
Well, what was it?
Maybe not Batman and Robin.
No, not Batman and Robin. It was just the very first iteration of Batman.
Oh, what was that?
Well, they went back in Batman Forever, remember? So
yeah, that's a new iteration of Batman. Every time somebody new played Batman, or a new iteration of the story, the director, they have an origin story. Director's doing Batman. Okay, we're getting another origin story.
And
this director's doing Batman. We're getting another origin story.
I give Batman Forever a complete pass. Nicole Kidman was smoking hot.
Yeah, but she's really
what's good. His was
not
better.
Important to the storyline.
Was for me.
No, I'm talking about the character for the storyline, and you could cut her entire role from the film, and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, like Matthew McConaughey in Contact. He wasn't even needed.
Oh, I didn't watch that movie because I already knew how.
No, Matthew McConaughey did have a point in contact. He was the love interest. He was the antithesis to her thesis.
I think he's a crappy actor. Except for that first one. What was it? When he was stoned, when he was on the watch the floor mats. I'm like, okay, that was good. Some good
Dazed and
acting. And he was
Confused?
stoned. Thank you. Dazed and Confused. That was one of his best roles.
Whose role? Who was?
Yeah, but it's also one of the it has one of the creepiest lines of all time.
Hey,
You know my favorite thing about 17-year-old girls? No matter how old I get, their age stays the same.
It's the same.
Oh God, what fucking movie was that?
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I have never seen that movie for a reason.
It still has one of the best soundtracks of all time. I'm sorry.
It was one of his
bad
best
as the movie
roles.
is at times. But see, what else did I actually watch this week? Oh, I will say I watched one thing that because I got a free download of it as well. I finally watched Top Gun Maverick.
Still haven't seen it.
And I think it's funny that I've watched it just before what happened yesterday in Iran.
Why?
Because the plot of the movie is to bomb a potential nuclear enrichment site that is clearly a stand-in for Iran. Which is why they...
That's because
Sorry?
That's because you say so. You know
what do
why?
you mean?
You know why everybody said that? You know why everybody assumed it was Iran? Because they are the only place that still has F-14s, and we sold.
Actually, there's
Kuwait
more
does.
than just that. If you do you watch game theory or film theory at all?
No.
Well, they wanted to basically do the same thing. Like, where does this actually take place? Who is the enemy that they're talking about the entire time?
Yeah, they said rogue nation. Boom.
Well, they don't say anything. The same thing with the first Top Gun movie. They don't say who it actually is. But
yeah, they do. They say it's the Russians.
No, they don't. Go back and watch it. They say they're flying Russian aircraft, but they're not saying it was the Russians. So, one of the things they bring up is the terrain and the mountains fit certain areas of Iran. 2, the bridges they fly under are very similar to a series of bridges in Iran.
Yeah, except those were filmed in Iran.
That was because it was CG. Those bridges were CG. But that style of bridge exists in Iran. But the other terrain that they talk about, the fact that it's near one of the a body of water that could actually have an aircraft carrier nearby. The fact that they have 5th generation aircraft, which are clearly inspired by the Russian designs, which would make sense because Iran is an ally of Russia. They could easily get their version of the 5th generation if Russia could actually make enough.
Look, if you want to,
and the fact that they had the F-14.
Yeah, or it could have just been a rogue. It could have just been a rogue nation, and nobody cared about the fact that they threw an F-14 in it because they needed the F-14 to bring back nostalgia from the first movie. That
was definitely it. Of course, that was the main reason.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you want to believe it's Iran, go ahead. I don't really care. I didn't bother with worrying about what country it was. I just thought it was nice that we didn't bog down in that bullshit.
Well, so I didn't hate the movie when it came to Top Gun Maverick. They definitely did the nostalgia baiting with the F-14. And I really doubt that the F-14 would have been able to do half the things they had it do in the movie. even back in the 80s, let alone one that's now almost 40 years old.
Yeah, because
But
you're an expert on piloting.
no, my dad flew them.
Okay. Still doesn't make you an expert.
I didn't say it did. I'm going by, when my dad was watching Top Gun, he would tell me, oh, they can't really do that. That maneuver is not something that we could do at that speed. Don't get me wrong. He still loved Top Gun. I mean, he attended Top Gun at Miramar.
Don't get me wrong. I understand him pointing out all the flaws. Trust me, I do it every time I see a movie when it deals with Marines. Rules of Engagement is one of my personal favorites.
But
Hey,
even
I'm gonna get some coffee while Mike takes the commercial break.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Bring up the appropriate ad and time for a commercial break.
Avoid super battle droids, but not the super deals at SD GameSwap.
God, I got to re-download those so I can use them in my daily videos. Like anytime I do a Star Wars one, include that clip.
So I've been working on my Star Wars figurine collections, and I managed to find Dark Empire, and this is one of those few times they actually made characters from an expanded universe story. We've got Dark Empire Supreme Commander Luke Skywalker, Dark Empire Princess Leia, and the Dark Empire clone Emperor. I had an idea I wanted to do with this. I was thinking taking those guys, and what I need to get is I need an Anakin from Episode 3. Kind of get him a little painted a little more black, and this be an alternate reality where he actually does overthrow the Emperor. What about 3PO is now both a translator and a guard droid, and I don't know what to do with R2. I'd say he's more of a intel analysis, I guess would be the right word.
Well, how much did you pay for the Dark Empire stuff?
I think $9.99.
All right, because I turned down an offer to buy someone's collection of Shadows of the Empire stuff, right? He had the novel, the soundtrack, the Nintendo 64 game in the box, and all the figures and micro machines from Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, right?
Yeah, I only have Prince Zizor. Can't find a Dash Rendar.
Well, like he had the Leia Bosk, or not Bosk, in the
I know who you're talking about, the Leia Bounty Hunter one.
Yeah, but with the Star Wars Shadows of the Empire packaging, he had Caesar, he had the Vader, Dash Rendar, Lebo. The one of the things he was missing was the Outrider.
Chewbacca looking like oh god, what was that?
Yeah, the one with the black stripes. Yes, he had that one too. But here's the thing:
Hey,
he wanted like $250 for the collection, right?
Yeah.
But when I look up the figures, even on card, those figures were only going for like between $5 and $10 a piece online.
Yeah. Most of what I've done for my Star Wars figurines, a lot of the Star Wars figurines I got are mostly between $4.99, $9.99, and $12.99. Now, some of the newer ones are like $12.99, but that's about it. Like, I've been to other stores in the mall, and I've seen them sell some Star Wars stuff, and I've seen how overpriced they are. They're like selling them for $20, and I'm like, I can get that over here just across the street at my toy store for like $10.
Well, what I was
Actually,
trying to tell the guy, like the most expensive thing, like the soundtrack itself.
which
Sorry,
I
a used copy of the soundtrack, which is, it was in great condition, but it only goes for like $5 online. The novel goes for about $4 to $5 online.
Mm-hmm.
The most valuable thing he had was the Nintendo 64 game in the original box. That goes for about $100. I'm like, even if I were to sell this myself, I would sell everything for about $150. There's no way I could give you $250 for it.
$150 I could see. The whole thing is I already had the soundtrack. I wouldn't care about the Nintendo because unlike an old friend of mine, Ippolito, this guy had he was determined to have every version of Nintendo there was. He had cartridges for every Nintendo from NES on. He had a hell of a collection, and he had a console for all of them. I was like,
hey guys, there's a new TV show that's starting filming right now that you might be interested in.
What's that?
It's called Crystal Lake. It's a prequel to the Friday the 13th.
Wait a minute, I think I heard about that.
Yeah, it's already filming that started today. I got my little notification on this. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm
An actual
watching,
horror TV show.
I'm actually watching the end of the first season of Castle Rock.
Mm.
Not
You guys
bad.
both like horror. I thought you might want to know that. So.
What's that?
You guys both like horror movies, so I thought you might want to know that.
I will definitely look into that because, I like bad horror movies. And it's about time we got a new traditional slasher. I think the last one was the Halloween ones.
American History, American Horror Story. That's basically the closest we get to horror TV shows. But this is supposed to be movie type in the TV show. I'm like, an actual horror TV show. Okay, I may be interested in this. It's not going to be no campy American Horror Story type. No, it's going to be a horror show. I'm like, okay.
I
don't like those campy shit. I'm sorry.
Most of the stuff that MTV puts out is pretty bad these days. But there was that Scream series they did. They did 3 seasons. I only saw 2.
It was campy.
Huh?
It was a little campy.
Yeah, I mean, it was like Scream in a TV series. I mean, that was the whole thing. They made the joke. It's like, you can't make a horror movie series.
I don't know. I liked the Scream series. It was
Damn.
It was interesting for its time, but it doesn't necessarily require a rewatch.
Scream 1, 2, and 3. That's all I need is the trilogy.
Really, I liked the last 3 movies. I liked as well.
Haven't seen them. No interest.
Well, I would definitely 4. You could probably skip for the most part, but 5 and 6 were good. I thought.
More power to you. I'm not interested in any more of them. I know one thing. I saw the Saw movies. I'm never buying those.
Are you sure? I got 3 of them on the eBay store for like $3.
If I bought a Saw movie after seeing them all, I just buy the first one.
That first one's too predictable.
The first one was great though.
Yeah, that's predictable.
No, I thought the first one was great. I mean, just really done.
Nice. I saw the gun. I'm like, okay, there's Jigsaw right there. He's the body. He's the guy. The gun was empty. I was like, hello, what? Like, I'm not an expert on guns, but I know an empty chamber when I see one. I'm like, okay, he could not have killed himself from an empty chamber. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay. I'm selling Saw 1, 2, and 4 for $2. Yeah, all three for $2.
You know, I'll have to pass on that offer.
Well, what's funny, the funniest part about it is one of the things that I'm including is a Saw 3 movie cell with it. That was originally packaged with Saw 3, but I don't have a copy of Saw 3. And I've had people try to get just that off of me. Like literally, they're like, "I'll buy just this the cell for $2. Can you not send me the rest?"
Oh, by the way, Disney will have Hall H panel for Tron Ares at Comic Con.
Say that again.
Disney will have a Hall H panel for Tron Ares at Comic Con.
Which Comic Con? LA?
San Diego.
San
When I say
Diego?
Comic Con, when I say Comic Con, I'm referring to the Comic Con, San Diego. So
Yeah.
if it's another city, I'll say this fan expo or this fan thing, but it's Comic Con is San Diego.
And when does that happen?
Mike, I can't afford it. When?
Shoot. I stopped going when Wizards of the Coast stopped giving me free tickets.
Yeah,
so
when
hold
is
on.
it this year? Yeah, if it's like San Francisco here, like Fan Expo, I'll say Fan Expo Atlanta
All right,
or San Francisco.
July 24th through the 27th.
Thank you. This weekend.
No, not this weekend. It next month.
Sorry, next month.
But we just had a Star Wars thing here in San Diego that I didn't go to. I wanted to, but I just didn't have the money. They had a Star Wars pub crawl.
Oh, dude. You ever take your kids to the gaming room where all the games are you pay $25 and all the video games are free?
No, and I'm going to mute myself because we got a guy on the speaker. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, NB, there's this place in San Diego. You pay $25 and all these classic arcades that you played in the arcade as a kid are there and it's free. They serve alcohol, food as well.
Too bad I can't make it to this con.
I'm still waiting for the announcement for San Francisco Comic Con in September. They usually announce some of the panelists, at least, or guest stars. They have made zero announcements.
Okay.
Because if D'Onofrio
The guy
actually
hasn't
makes it
finished
this
going
year,
by, but I thought I'd look it up for you real quick. Hold on. God dang it.
yeah, if D'Onofrio actually makes it this year, I'm going to get his autograph of an 8x10 color glossy of him as a still from Adventures of Babysitting Design.
All right, so I decided I'm like to look up the San Diego Comic Con date. All I did was put in SDCC and 25, right?
Yeah.
So you were like, when does the San Francisco Comic Con? So I'm like, let me try it. I just typed in SFCC 25. You know what? The first thing that comes up?
What?
Santa Fe Community College calendar for the year of 2025.
We have something called Fan Expo SF. It's called Fan Expo SF, dude.
But I just thought it was funny.
Let me see. Let me go to the site right now. Fan Expo.
San Francisco's Comic Con is so short that the first thing is the first thing that appears is not even that. The second thing is Salesforce Winter 2025 release notes. No,
So,
the college.
They don't have an announced guest yet for SF Expo. It's November 28th. Sorry, not September.
So here's some of the people going to be at the PopCon in Indy. That's this coming week. I might actually go ahead and drive down the 2 hours to go to this because I like some of the people in here. Let's see. Who do we got that I know? We got Rob Coulson from the original Raphael from TMNT.
Nice.
Renee Jacobs, April O'Neil, Cam Clark, Leonardo, Barry Gordon, Donatello, the guy who voiced Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. God, that was a good game to play. Oh, the guy who guy who voices Sonic the Hedgehog. This is probably the comic guy. Oh, by the way, Mike, I did pick up Knuckles. Haven't watched it yet, but I did pick it up.
Well, let me know what you think, because I kind of liked it. It was a little slow at times, and I'm not a huge fan of one of the characters, but it was good. I mean, as the worst thing I could say for it was good.
Oh, they're gonna have George Booza, the guy who voiced Beast as Hank McCoy in the old X-Men series from the 90s, 96, 97 series. Yeah, this could be fun. Only a few hours away. Holy shit. No way. They got the guy who voiced Vampire Hunter. They got the voice who played D from Vampire Hunter.
Which one?
D?
Which one?
John,
There's two.
John Vermillion.
So the second movie.
Is that the second movie?
I think so. Hold on. Let me look it up real quick.
It says he's known for Vampire Hunter D, One Piece, My Hero Academia.
Gee, only $103 for a 3-day pass. Nice. 140, I get a plushie, a comic book, a bag.
What name did you say?
John Vermillion. G-R-E million.
Nope, that might have been the first one.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at the cast list for Bloodlust, and Andrew Philpott was the voice for Bloodlust.
Okay, let me look up Vampire Hunter D.
One of the things you might like in Bloodlust, John DiMaggio voices some of the characters, and if you know him, that's Bender from Futurama, and Dwight Schultz voices two characters in Bloodlust as well, which is really funny because they actually have a conversation a little bit, so he's talking to himself. And if you know, do you guys know who Dwight Schultz is?
Broccoli.
Reginald Barkley from Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah, broccoli.
But if you're gonna watch Bloodlust, Michael McShann as Left Hand is the best actor in that series. He's the funniest by far.
I'm debating whether or not to go to the Mission District today.
What is that?
What's been going on politically around here?
Local politics?
Both.
No, but we're not going to go into it.
Yeah, I'm looking at my weed. I'm like, damn, I really got to get my discount, but I don't know if I should go to that today. I have to spend an extra $5 and just go to Union Square.
Dude, none of those places mean a damn thing to me.
Oh, Union Square is a tourist area of San Francisco. It's kind of like one of the most expensive areas down here for touristy because tourist. And there's a dispensary down here. I do get a local discount.
All right, so here's the thing.
They're really expensive.
I was looking up the cast for Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah.
The reason I was confused, and I now understand. There's two different English translations for the first Vampire Hunter D film. The person you're talking about, John Gramillion, he voices D in the redone edit from 2015. The original American voice cast was Michael McConaughey.
Really?
Right on.
So that, I didn't realize they did a second dub.
No, I didn't know that either.
The only one I own is the original, so I still have a copy on VHS.
Yeah, I need to buy that one. I also need Fists of the North Star, Akira, and a few others. All right. I might actually go to this.
I'm still waiting for the announcement. I wish they post some celebrities or artists. Because next month I am going to get my 3-day pass for $100 when the sale's over. Otherwise, it's $160. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting the early sale this year. I just hope the D'Onofrio shows up.
So my
I didn't even know about this. I was looking up this guy that we're talking about, the John Gramillion. He's voicing Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League that's being released this year.
Didn't know that.
And yeah, Batman Ninja is one of the ones I've seen recently. So, or apparently it just came out already. I take it back. It was released in March.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it sitting there a little while ago.
It's pretty good. It came out a couple months ago.
So yeah, I might want to go back and watch this. Cool.
Interesting. I just want to see how much the tickets are for this. 3 days, $70. I don't know.
Damn, that's cheap. $100 here for 3 days.
I don't know. Should I go Friday or Saturday?
Well, 109. The 3-day exclusive pass includes a limited edition SF Expo bag, limited edition comic, limited edition collectible, lithograph, and a free ticket to a 1-day pass for next year. The VIP is $365. You get all that plus a lanyard, T-shirts, 2 comics, complex plus shipping, 20% off coupon. That's it. I bet it's the general 3-day pass.
Oh, now $70 in a motel, $70, and then spend 15 at a Motel 6 for a few days. I could do that.
Dude, this is 4 blocks from my house. Okay.
Yeah, well, this is 2.5 hours from my house, and I'm not staying at my sister, and I'm not staying at my sister-in-law's.
Yeah, if I go to Fan Expo, it's 4 blocks from my house. No problem. I just hate shopping at Trader Joe's when it goes on because it is packed. You got a lot of costumes in that store. People seem to avoid Target, but shop at Trader Joe's. I don't know why.
How you doing, PC?
Okay, pasta. I see your kid is still asleep. It's been an hour and a half since you texted her.
Yeah, let me check to see if she actually.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head up to the mall. I got some stuff I want to do.
Dude, why do you go to the mall? Everything at the
Even
mall you can buy
looked at the message
online.
yet.
What?
Even the food at the food, everything you buy, everything at the mall you can buy online. Even the food at the food court. Why do you even bother going to the mall?
I can't try on pants at the mall, or I can try on pants at the mall. I can try on shorts. Sorry, there are certain things I have to try on, like shoes, socks, my clothes. Sorry, I gotta put them on first before I decide to buy them.
I already know my pant size and my shirt sizes, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't
Well,
go to the
that's
mall to buy
kind of
shoes.
been a problem for me because I went from 265 to now I'm probably 210, 215 right now. So the drainings have changed my weight drastically to most of my pants and sweats and stuff don't fit anymore. And wearing a belt is kind of an exercise in futility trying to figure out what to do. That's why I started wearing my suspenders because it's just easier to keep the pants up.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
do
Well,
suspenders.
that's the second time StreamYard just kicked me from my own stream, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna probably end it in about a few minutes.
I'm
Okay.
already heading out, so take care, guys. Bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
So I don't know why it keeps kicking me. I don't know if it's Mrs. Wiles' internet or other issues with StreamYards.
Yeah, be on the safe side. You might want to end the stream in about a couple minutes then.
Well, it wouldn't be a CNA stream if there wasn't issues with StreamYards or someone's computer.
Exactly. Your life is a corn album. You got issues. Great album.
All right, let's see. I don't know. I'll get dinged for that one, but oh well. I think it would be with recent events. It might be funny to do the Klingon war song.
Go for it.
I just know that I'll get dinged by Paramount. So. Klingons who hoorah!
Koi Keles Claude Koi Puk Me Poo Yakbal Makbal Teshui Sema Sumeru Makta Shumana Emat Kapchu Nade Emat Akwo Ku Bakma Shepes Ejo Kita Bakma Madina Marek Masutaku Marek Mashutak Mao.
And I don't know why that one always gets dinged by Paramount.
I don't know.
Buy something at SD Game Swap, or I'm going to put all of you in a cargo container and transport you to the Borg.
I still think I can eat more pancakes than her in less than 60 seconds.
Probably. Oh, and I'm just going to play this one because I think it's funny.
And now, a special message from some of the Vile children.
You're gay. How'd you know?
All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully, StreamYards won't have any issues next week.
Later, weirdos.
I'll see you on Chris Knight's stream.
The Real Review 3000.
Whatever, same thing.